dialed is not in service at this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
A very good afternoon, South Africalings. I hope you're all keeping well and your Thursday is treating you kindly and getting you all ready for the weekend and saying, I'm not too far away, because it's not. Yeah, Thursday, as they say, is the downhill to Friday. So, yep, the weekend isn't far away and yeah, let's hang on tight, eh? Anyway, guys, I don't know if a lot of you are aware or are aware, but the month of October that has just passed was Mental Health Awareness Month. And yeah, you know, currently under the lockdown, I think mental health is something that, you know, needs to be discussed extensively and also paid attention to. You know, I think at the moment, or, you know, since we went into lockdown in March, a lot of focus has been on the physical aspects of COVID-19, you know, the masks, the social distancing, the lockdowns, all those kinds of physical procedures that we had to, you know, adhere to and follow according to what the lockdowns told us to do. But you know what, a lot of it was extremely mentally frustrating, and also, you know, everything changed. You know, when we undergo change as humans, you know, even though it may be a physical change, there's an emotional change that happens when you are exposed to something new, you know, and a pandemic in our generation is something new. We've never had to go through one before. The baby boomers didn't have to go through one. Generation Xennial are the ones going through it, and yeah, it's happened in our generation, eh? And you know what, it's tough, guys. It's not easy, eh? You know, everything changed. You think about this time last year, you know, you were worrying a little bit about load shedding, and, you know, you're watching a bit of the Zondo Commission and seeing Jacob Zuma deny everything that he was doing, and you know what, life was pretty peachy, you know. And then all of a sudden, a little virus pops its head up in China and then spreads across the world, and we're faced with a new world, a whole new world, guys. This, you know, I hate the phrase new normal because it's an oxymoron, but this is our normal. What it is now is going to be that way for a long, long time, guys. It's not going to change. You know, the only thing that we can change is our outlook and our mental ability to deal with these kinds of things. And we've got to be aware of them. You know, if you're feeling a little bit depressed or anxious about the situation that is very volatile and different, you've got to speak about it, guys. You've got to talk about it, and you've got to, you know, it starts with being a little bit honest with yourself. You know, you got to say, you know, do a check, you know, like people do physical examinations and how am I feeling? You should do that mentally too, you know, do a mental check on yourself. Like, how am I doing today? Am I feeling good? Am I feeling positive? How's my mindset? Am I committed to my work? Am I not committed? Why am I not committed? You know, ask yourself those questions. Do a little self-assessment. There's nothing wrong with self-assessment, guys. Self-assessment is pretty much what helps you grow emotionally, psychologically, socially, you know. And I think it's a perfect time to do it because we're under stress. As humans, we are totally under stress at the moment, guys. I think none of us can deny the fact that we felt higher levels of stress over the past 8 or 9 months. I think there's no denying it. You know, we have to look at it from a standpoint of we're in adversity. You know, people who had office jobs are now working from home. And you think about, you know, the emotional impact of social isolation. We used to work in an office or, you know, in a business where there were 20 or 30 or 40 or 100 or 300 employees in there. And you used to see them and socially interact with them and work with them. And now you're stuck at home with your computer. You know, the world has got very small all of a sudden. And there's little things like cabin fever and anxiety and a little bit of, you know, social anxiety because suddenly you're stuck at home. And some people, you know, that I chat to, you know, I see people in my restaurant and in our businesses, in the nursery, and some of these people, it's the first time they've been out in 8 or 9 months. You know, I've had many conversations with people at my restaurant where, you know, that's the first time they've come out to eat in 8 or 9 months. And socially, that's just totally abnormal. for our society and the way that we live, the way that we live. We are such social beings, and social interaction is hugely important for our psychology. And even chatting to psychologists, you hear from them that the mental health issues amongst our population has increased dramatically over the past 8 or 9 months. It's just the way that it is. It goes with, it comes with COVID-19 and the impact of it. Like I said before, you're forced to do things you wouldn't normally do. You're forced to put a mask on your face. You're forced to social distance. You're forced to stand in a queue that's different. Everything is different. And when there's differences, our minds don't naturally like them. We are creatures of habit. Humans are habitual creatures. There's some outliers that can survive very easily under these kinds of situations, but most of us take a bit of strain. And you got to be honest with yourself, guys. Honesty with yourself is the most important, because you know what? The person is you lie to the most? It's you. You lie to yourself the most. And you know what? There's nothing wrong, like I said before, with a little bit of a mental health check. And talk about it. Talk to people about it, because I can tell you right now, experiencing it myself and, talking about my fears and how I feel about this lockdown and its impact on business, because, being a restaurant owner, we were hard hit, hey? We went through 3 or 4 months of only being able to sell takeaways and do deliveries. And you know what, for most restaurants, that's just not enough. So the stress and the anxiety of just a hit like that was dramatic. And I'm so glad that, I had the support base around me and people around me that I was able to interact with and speak to about it. And that you're not alone, because that's the most important thing. I find that people often feel isolated at times like this. The UK, for example, has gone into a second wave of lockdowns and hard lockdowns. So again, people are having to conserve themselves inside their homes, and some people are totally alone right now. And it is very hard psychologically to be on your own 24/7, guys. It's just not easy for humans to have to deal with that. And I personally believe that a lot of emphasis and a lot of focus by our medical fraternity and our government has been about the physical aspects of COVID-19. But there's a whole another ballpark of mental health issues and mental health awareness that needs to be incorporated with the understanding of what COVID-19 is. It's as much a physical virus as it is a mental, emotional problem. They go together. You can't even separate them. When you're looking after somebody's physical health, you need to look after their emotional health. It's difficult. People have had, especially, people that have been in old age homes and isolated away from their families at a time like this is extremely difficult. We've got friends that went to New Zealand in January and they're still stuck there now. People are stuck all over the world, guys. The repatriations haven't been concluded. There are actually people that are still stuck away from their home for like 8 or 9 months, and it's ongoing. So yeah, guys, it's a contentious issue, but it's something that we need to think about, and we need to make sure that our mental health meets our physical health. There's no point being physically healthy and well if you're not mentally healthy and well, or optimally functioning mentally. It doesn't matter that you're physically healthy and well then, because if your mental health is suffering, you are suffering. It's not that simple. It's not that simple to say, I'm physically healthy and I went to the doctor and the doctor said, I'm good to go and there's nothing wrong. But inside, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling afraid, you're feeling apprehensive, you've maybe been retrenched or put onto short time, and things aren't what they used to be, and you're allowed to feel worried and concerned about that. And you need to reach out, guys. Find somebody that you can talk to and just talk about it. You won't believe how much talking about something helps. Hey, we don't have to be tough guys all the time. Hey, it's nice to be a tough guy and I can handle it and everything, but you know what, like I said earlier, you've got to be honest with yourself. Hey, that's the most important part, guys. And that's the Wayne G Show for today. This is Real Talk Radio, and I hope that this hit you where it was meant to, and hopefully this show or this podcast has made you think a little bit about your mental health and know that it should be prioritized. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, guys. We'll chat to you again soon. Peace and love.